A hurricane watch is in effect along the Texas coast as Beta gets better organized. I'm Mike Nasel with the latest on Tropical Storm Beta as well as Hurricane Teddy. We have a lot of systems out there. You can see on the screen here this beautiful visible satellite imagery of all of our systems. On the left here in the Gulf, we have Tropical Storm Beta, which is forecast to get close to hurricane strength right as it nears or even crosses the Texas coast in about 2 to 3 days, so it's very slow moving. We have Hurricane Teddy out here, a major hurricane, which is eyeing Bermuda and then the Canadian Maritimes. We have Tropical Storm Wilfred, which is barely hanging on out there in the Atlantic. And then we have what's left of Paulette near the Azores, which could briefly come back. And if you look very closely, right there next to that number 5 is a little spin. That's what's left of Vicky, not to mention a tropical wave off Africa. So a lot to cover in the tropics. Let's get right to it with the latest on Beta. Now here's the latest as of 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. Tropical Storm Beta was at 26.6 north, 92.4 west, winds of 60. It is now stationary. It is not moving. It barely moved today. It probably won't move much tonight. We have a hurricane watch from Port Aransas, Texas to High Island, and a tropical storm warning from Port Aransas to Intracoastal City, Louisiana. You can see these tropical storm force winds are impinging on the coast. Now, as long as Beta doesn't increase in size spatially, and as long as it doesn't move close or move at all really right now, we likely won't see those winds. But again, we have ship reports of very strong tropical storm winds in this area here of the northern and northwestern Gulf. You can see the system is not forecast to become a hurricane precisely, but it could get close to it by Tuesday morning, right as it nears the coastline. And like the Hurricane Center said, even if it doesn't, the intensity guidance is trending down. It should be close enough to where we'd get hurricane warnings. Now, what's going to happen generally is as that high builds in, it's going to push it west, and then steering currents will collapse, and it should eventually feel the tug of a trough. But by this point in Louisiana, this is on Thursday, so this is not a quick event, and that is going to prolong the heavy rainfall, no doubt, with Beta. You can see the visible satellite. Look at the beginning of this loop, the center was exposed, and then what happened? We had a giant burst of convection, and it's been holding its own. It is interacting a bit with this stalled out cold front along the Gulf Coast, and that's kind of giving it almost a non-tropical look to itself, but it's still over warm enough water to where it could become a hurricane, but obviously you can see it has not moved over the past few hours. The upper level environment is getting a little bit better. It's kind of on the edge of very strong shear to its north and east and very favorable shear to its south. So again, kind of mediocre environment for intensification. But the main threat right now is going to be water in the form of storm surge. You could see anywhere Aransas Bay, San Antonio Bay, Matagorda Bay, 2 to 4 feet here along the Texas coast, even down to Corpus Christi, Port Mansfield and Padre Island, the mouth of the Rio Grande, 1 to 3 feet. You can see Calcasieu Lake areas devastated by Hurricane Laura. You can see 2 to 4 feet, and some of those areas are still without power or even underwater. It's very nasty. 1 to 3 feet back here towards areas of Vermilion Bay, Lake Bourne, Lake Pontchartrain. So the water rise is going to be a problem with a persistent onshore fetch of moisture, but the biggest concern is the rainfall. Look at this radar out of New Orleans. You guys have just heavy rainfall. It'll be heavy, then it'll stop, then it'll come back. Right now, there's no severe weather, but again, that could change anytime there's a tropical cyclone. You do risk having spin-ups of water spouts or tornadoes, but you can see just a very wet and moist night in southeastern Louisiana, to say nothing of the whole North Gulf Coast. Check this out. You can see it's not just Louisiana. Mississippi and Alabama and the Florida Panhandle, areas still ravaged by Hurricane Sally and ravaged over here by Hurricane Laura, are just getting heavily impacted by Beta. So again, it's not the strength of the storm when it comes to rainfall, it's how fast it's moving, and right now Beta is not moving. And that means, look at these rainfall amounts over the next few days, very, very heavy, and if you look even closer, you can see 15, 20, maybe 25 inches here off the Texas coast. If it even moves further west just a little bit, some of that rainfall could be over land and be very, very devastating. So you want to watch that very carefully. Hurricane Teddy, still a powerful major hurricane, 120 miles an hour. We do have a tropical storm warning in effect for Bermuda. By Monday, it should make a turn to the north and then just miss Bermuda to the east. But you can see that tropical storm conditions can clip them. and then it could be a hurricane or an extratropical system up here near Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, the Canadian Maritimes by Wednesday. So you guys want to watch Hurricane Teddy very, very carefully. Take a look at that beast. You can see it's trying to spit out a new eye there. It was a little ragged, but that is just a monstrous major hurricane. And obviously there is the island of Bermuda. You guys were ravaged by Hurricane Paulette. So you know it's a busy hurricane season, not just because we got into the Greek alphabet, but we have Laura ravaged areas, Sally ravaged areas, Paulette ravaged areas, and that's why they don't need Teddy and Beta. You can see a very strong outflow jet there on the right side, which is heavily impacting Wilfred. Don't forget about our little buddy Wilfred there, the last name on the list. Wilfred is 40 miles an hour and it's moving west-northwest at 14, expected to dissipate, but it's trying hard in the face of that wind shear from Hurricane Teddy. Look at that. Look at that jet of outflow right on the right side of Hurricane Teddy, just totally punking Wilfred right there and what's left of Vicky. So again, we're going to watch both these systems as they generally move to the west. What's left of Vicky, which is barely discernible, and then Wilfred down here, which is also almost not even discernible. Teddy's big fat eye is just shearing the crazy amount of wind shear along Wilfred there. So again, we're watching all of our systems. What's left of Paulette doesn't look that impressive, but over time, as it loops around, there is the chance of regeneration. But right now, the main focus is Hurricane Teddy's threat to Bermuda and the Canadian Maritimes, and Tropical Storm Beta's threat of very heavy rainfall along the North Gulf Coast. If you're in Louisiana and Texas, and even, like I said, Mississippi and Alabama, the panhandle here, as it interacts with that front, keep a very close eye on Tropical Storm Beta. I'm Mike Nasel with the latest on the tropics, and I'll talk to you guys next time.